Welcome to the Uncle Hack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
Welcome back to another Uncle Hack Podcast. How are you? Good, great, grand, beautiful. How's that shit sandwich you're eating? Does it taste good? Does it taste right? Did you put enough salt and pepper on it to diffuse the taste of just feces going down your throat? Because that's what you're getting fed all day, every day. You know, it's funny. George Carlin once said, there's a club, a big, giant club, and you're not in it. And boy, have we found that out with all the shorting stocks. You know, we go overnight. We have businessmen overnight that somehow have figured out everything around this goddamn stock market shit. Hey, oh, I know a little something about shorting stocks myself. No, you haven't, Greg. No, you don't. You don't know fuck all. Okay, you, my friend, you're a mechanic at the local golf club, okay? You listen to smart guys talk about that shit, and you just regurgitate word for word what you overheard while they were having a cocktail after their 3 p.m. game, while you were going to get a club soda to go fix the fucking gator so you can go fix the divots that those assholes left on hole 3 earlier in the day. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, you son of a bitch. Yeah, everybody all of a sudden turned into a goddamn day trader. But you know what? I do enjoy the fact that people are coming together and just sticking it to the man. It's good to see the fucking little guy win, isn't it? It's just nice to see that there's a fighting chance. And it's, well, you got billionaires crying. Billionaires crying. The wealthy people are losing a lot of money. Good. Fuck them. Nobody gives a shit. I am broke right now. I'm a broke guy itching to get to the bar just to have a beer with my friends. For some of you, you are living in an area where they just don't give a fuck. And I really, really wish I was in one of those areas. You know, Canada, the biggest cuck country on the fucking planet. You want to know what here, for the American listeners and the Canadians that listen to this, because it's a predominantly listened to podcast by Canadians, I'm going to explain Canada for you. It's the biggest cuck country on the fucking planet, okay? And well, that's kind of rude to say. No, it is. You want to know why? Because this is what happens. When there's something that happens in government, you want to know what we do? Well, I'll fucking tell you about it. I'll fucking go on Facebook. I'll fucking argue with a bunch of other fucking retards in a comment section on a global news article about how they're fucking wrong and I'm right. Oh, well, you're a snowflake, man. You're a fucking snowflake. Everybody sits around. We use social media like, oh, fuck, I told that guy the other day to go fuck himself on Facebook. Yeah, fuck, man. Got him real good. Oh, you didn't go out and protest? Oh, fuck, no. God, no. We don't do that. And then I'm going to have people right now, well, did United as we roll? Oh, yeah, how did that work out? How did that fucking work out? Worked out phenomenal, didn't it? Raised a ton of goddamn money. Drive all the way to Ottawa. They started in Red Deer, Alberta. Drove all the way to Ottawa with a bunch of truckers. There was a lot of blue-collar gentlemen. And I respect a blue-collar job. But you went there and you stood out there with your thumb up your ass and didn't get acknowledged once. There was no media attention on it. There was like 2 or 3 fucking blurbs on Global and CBC. And we're acting like, oh, we made a fucking difference, man. You didn't do jack shit. We didn't do jack shit. A bunch of fucking Q-tards stormed the Capitol with a guy that led the guy that was leading the charge had a fucking bull helmet on, or whatever the hell you want to call it, like an old Viking helmet. And then they get in there, don't know what the hell to do. Canadians, on the other hand, oh, fuck no, I drove my truck to fucking Parliament out in Ottawa, bud, fuck. That's the conservative side of things. The liberal side, then, they'll go out and they'll fucking, they'll protest just the most absurd shit, and nobody really, here's the thing, is nobody just takes the time and realizes that we're all in the same fucking boat together. Whether you have blue hair or a blue collar, we're all in the same goddamn boat eating the same goddamn shit sandwich, and nobody wants to acknowledge it. Nobody, oh, fuck you, you're a liberal. Fuck you, man, you're a fucking conservative. How about this? We're all retarded. How about this? We're all retarded. Once we wrap our brains around that we're all just a bunch of fucking retards, and that the rich keep getting richer and the middle class just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And then all that's left is a bunch of rich assholes telling us broke, stupid sons of bitches that want to argue about whether a transsexual can take a shit in the men's bathroom. Then we can finally get to the point where we can attack the rich and tax them appropriately. Put in programs to help people get their ass off the fucking ground and get going again. Get businesses going again. But instead, some guy wants to chop off his cock and take a piss in a fucking female bathroom. And we're fucking, well, fuck, man, what if he fucking wants to wrestle my old lady? You know what? Listen, the guys that are saying that, their old ladies will fend just fine. They'll do okay in that wrestling match. Let's be honest. Your fat fucking pig of a wife beats the shit out of you. And you're a man. And now this girl, I guess to say, wants to chop off her cock and have a little squirt in the fucking female's bathroom. I'm sure your wife, Samantha, is going to be okay. She's tipping the scales at a solid 225 and fucking suplexed you through the goddamn picnic table at the last family reunion. So listen here, Charles, you're going to be okay. The tranny wants nothing to do with your fucking kids. All it wants to do is just take a piss, okay? Just wants to take a piss. So once we get over the fact that this shit don't matter and that the rich keep getting richer and using these social dilemmas to their advantage, like the whole George Floyd situation, which then progressed into BLM and Nike, you think Nike didn't make a pretty penny off that? Oh, boy, did they ever. And they're laughing at you. Oh, they don't give a shit. Oh, so what? We got to throw 3 letters on our next ad campaign so we can up our profits this year? Of course they're going to do it. Well, so you saying that identity politics don't matter? That's exactly what I'm saying. It's a rich versus poor fucking battle here, and it's such a frustrating thing to watch because you're watching good people lose their businesses, lose their livelihoods. You know, the small business guy that runs the corner store in your small town. I guess corner stores are open. It's a bad thing. The flower shop. You know, the flower shop that everybody gets their flowers for. Thank God the flower shop could possibly be a lucrative business because there's bodies stacking up 10 feet high from this virus. And what are you going to have to put on the goddamn gravestone? Flowers. Jesus Christ. Fuck out of here. What a stupid time we live in. It's really exposing the dumb. And it's exposing a lot, if we're being honest. It's exposing the dumb. It's exposing the wealthy and how they think and feel about day-to-day people like yourself and I. I'm a small business owner, so this frustrates the hell out of me. I make majority of the money that comes in through Danger Cats has been made through festivals while we sell clothing at festivals. We don't make a ton of money off YouTube. And to be honest, we probably make about $200 a month off ad revenue. I don't get most views in the world. I like doing this podcast because it's soothing for me. I get to come on here, vent, and just play weird scenarios out in my head for your laughter, for your joking sake. And maybe these times where I'm losing my fucking mind, it is slightly entertaining for you. And maybe you do get a little laugh, a little chuckle about it, a little ha-ha, a little hoo-hoo. We're having fun. This is fun now. This is entertainment. This is the low-level entertainment that people get now. You know, if it's not, we went from a talented generation. Your parents' generation came from talent. You know, they had guys like John Candy, John Belushi. Who else would have been up there? Chris Farley. You know, these people possess talent. Now, what do you got? You got these fucking 13-year-olds saying that's talent. That's talent. A little swing in the arms on a TikTok video. A little, hey, there it is. That's talent right there. Nobody possesses any talent, and the kids that do are just shunned by these talentless fucking dipshits that argue with one another. Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. This is the world we live in. This is what happened in 5 years. 5 years. A lot of shit went to hell. Or were we just blind to the fact of this? Actually, it's been going on for quite some time, but now this is my theory, is now all them dipshit retarded kids, I'm getting demonetized on this one, so who gives a shit? We're letting it all buck today. This is what the Patreon episodes are like. So if you like hearing the words retarded and I don't know, like a word like faggot, then get the Patreon. Well, there's no racial shit. We just say words. They're words. They're empty. They're empty words that mean nothing. It's like a bullet that doesn't fire. If that offends you, then I don't know. I guess I don't know what to tell you. Life is about to get real goddamn hard. I can't remember. You know what you need? Be poor. Be poor for a minute. Because I remember when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. And words were just there. They were just there to kind of express our frustration. But guess what? Being offended and upset didn't pay the bills. It didn't. It didn't do jack shit, actually. It didn't do jack shit. Mom, I'm sad. Yeah, well, aren't we all? That's the response I'd get. You know what I mean? Aren't we all? I'm a little sad too, Brendan. But guess what? My sad ass has to go to work, so that way we have to have a fucking sad roof over our head and some sad clothes on our fucking back. So that way your sad tummy can have a sad meal. My mom wasn't that bad, by the way. This is all jokes. It's all hypothetical. My mother is actually a saint. She's a good woman. But we understood at a young age that, you know what? Being a little upset doesn't pay the bills. Oh, what's that? Little Timmy called you a fag at school today? Oh, that's great. You know what you can do? Take out the fucking garbage, you little fag. And then I'd look at her and be like, oh wow. Yeesh. Jeez, maybe somebody's a little more upset than I am sad. Didn't have to give me a chore. I guess I am a bit of I guess I am a little bit faggy today. I'm acting a little faggy. This ain't good. Yeah, that's where we're at. I think it's now to the point where all the university students are now spilling into the workforce, and they're realizing, oh, this isn't what they explained to me. In school, we don't just get to sit around and do theory. No, I'm a little upset that we don't get to sit around and talk about how there are more genders and there are more ways that a man can express himself. Or, it is upsetting to sit and all these theories that me and my friends used to talk about while dropping acid and smoking copious amounts of marijuana really don't matter when I go to type up reports and give make spreadsheets and what are those fucking in PowerPoints. There we go. In PowerPoints to try and impress a boss that's going to hate me until the end, until he's replaced. And then the next guy, I pray to fucking God that he might like me. You start to realize that none of that shit in college matters. And now you're hanging on to that little thing that you had back then. That little thing. That little group of friends where you get together and be like, yeah, we need to amplify black voices. And then you got to go to the place where or after you get that piece of paper of that degree that means fuck all in a warehouse, and you start getting with some real people of all ethnicities, all walks of life, and they're all miserable just like you inside, and you try and fucking spew the nonsense you learned in college or university on them, and you realize real quick that none of these people care. They don't give a shit. Grab that fucking box and put it on top of that box. Grab that piece of lumber and carry it the fuck over there. Nobody gives a shit about your goddamn pronoun. Hey, know who you are on site? This is who you are on site. Hey, retard. Grab that piece of lumber and put it over there. Nobody gives a shit about your gender pronoun. Hey, dipshit, grab me a handful of nails and fuck off. That's what the real world is. All walks of life, all ethnicities, and guess what? These people, man, woman, it don't matter. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody fucking cares. Do your job so we can all go the fuck home and get paid. No one wants to hear about your dumbass gender studies program that you took. Oh, did you know that women are paid less? Time for a little ad read. What's that? What's that you say? Oh, you like my swag. You like my digs, hey? We got new clothes at dangercatshop.com, and if you use the code HACK20, you'll get 20% off your order of that Danger Cats merch, baby. You want to look tight? You want to look fly in public? You tired of looking like a loser? You tired of feeling like one? Well, guess what? You slip on one of these hats, and it doesn't change much. You'll still be the same loser. You'll just be a little more stylish. That's all. So use the code HACK20 at dangercatshop.com. Hell, you'll go down to the bar. This puts 20% more horsepower on your drinking. What more do you want out of this? What more do you want out of this? This hat that I'm wearing, okay? If you want to one crack a beer off your skull, this hat right here has been known to suck the brain right out of your skull and just it solidifies it, making it hard, making it so your thoughts like don't exist anymore. You become a dumb, compliant human. Pick up that 2x4, move it over there. You are that guy. You'll be that guy. A good, obedient worker making a little bit of money to pay for, your third child that's on the way. Third child on the way. HACK20. Just use HACK20. DangerCatShop.com. And if you want this episode earlier than everybody else, and you want an extra episode, oh, what's that? There's a little more exclusive Discord. Oh, what's that? There's some more every Tuesday. A bunch of OnlyFans girls, or we like to call Titty Tuesday, and also women doing God's work. They do shout outs with us on the Patreon. Yeah, that's right. Extra episode, exclusive Discord, where you get this episode earlier, and Titty Tuesday. Topless women. Hey, maybe if we get our shit together here in Canada, we could get to that place where we can allow the tatas to finally be free. I'll get behind that movement. If any ladies want to fire that up, I feel like, he's a misogynist. He's a misogynist. If a boy gets, you know what? I'm rambling at this point. Patreon.com/DangerCats69, and you can become a piss bag. That's right. We renamed all the tiers. You can be a piss bag, you can be a piss tank, and you can be a danger dog and be an executive producer. Back to the podcast. Well, guess what? You're wrong, because Cheryl over there is a fourth year. She's a fourth year carpenter. I'm a third year, making more money than me. You want to know why? Because she worked harder at her job and also did the schooling and put the time in. Shut the fuck up. She can also go home, diddle her pussy on OnlyFans, and triple her fucking income. I pull out my cock, I'm going to jail. There you go. There's the difference. What did Bill Burr say? That 15 cents an hour is for in case we're on the Titanic and you get to go first. You and the children get to go first, and I got to sink with the boat. I don't want to. I do this a lot on here where I butcher everybody's jokes, but go watch the bit. I don't even care if you turn this off to go watch him. He's 10 times funnier. He's a little more articulate with the humor. Okay. What a fucking time. It is just getting so old to me. I'm so fed up. You just want to be a dude out there. I imagine most of the audience that listen to this are dudes. And if there are women that do watch this, I know there's a couple. They're pretty cool. They seem like they're cool chicks. You know what I mean? They understand a joke. They get it, a little ha-ha. More than likely, you, my friend, or fellow lady, or whatever pronoun you want to be fucking described as, you understand the world we live in. You're probably more than likely married or dating a dude, and you're happier than hell. That guy's not a bad guy. He's a decent dude. Unlike me, I'm a piece of shit. I understand I'm a piece of shit. I don't think that I don't think that there's probably one girlfriend in the past that could probably look at me dead in the eyes and be like, yeah, you know what? He was the best one I had. And if I am the best one that they've had, I feel bad for him. I wish the best for him in the future. I truly, honestly do. I'm a scumbag. I'm a dirtbag. But I admit it. And now I'm trying to turn that into a profit by being a comedian and taking these past experiences and all the things that I've fucked up in my life, put them in podcast form, and then hopefully soon be able to put this on a stage. Manipulate my words to make me funny, to make this a little more entertaining. I imagine that some of you come back, and this is an entertaining podcast. It's pretty fun. I talk about some relatable topics of what you maybe went through, what I've been through, some of the hypothetical situations that I make up in my head that I find are funny, and I spew them on here, and everybody has a good time. We all get together. We have a little chuckle, a little laugh, a little ha-ha. A little hee-hee. It's a good time. We enjoy it. We have fun. But I don't know where I was going with that. What I'm saying, well, I'll go back to what I was originally saying, is that like nobody fucking cares. We are all eating a giant shit sandwich, like I just said. And nobody here, especially anybody that takes the time to listen to this podcast. Listen, there's a few winners out there, but not a lot. Let's be honest here. We're not curing coronavirus. By no means possible are we getting together, putting our fucking lids and connecting some thoughts and beating the fucking virus together. We're not. We're not coming up with a vaccine. We're not doing science shit. Nor should we. Actually, it's kind of funny because I had a guy come up to me and like here we go. This guy's bullshitting. I had a guy come up to me and he's like, hey, dude, I like your podcast. It's actually kind of funny. And I asked him what he does, and he's a scientist. And he left it very vague, and I asked him, well, what kind of scientist? Like, what do you study? And he does something with plants. Told me what his title was, but of course I looked at him like he just spoke Chinese. Like he just looked at me. He just came off a flight from Wuhan. Looked at me and did some ching chong bing bong shit. Now that's racist. Oh boy, that's racist. That'll get you canceled. But nobody cares. Because for me growing up, I grew up with a lot of Japanese dudes. I did. A lot of my friends are Japanese, native, and there's like a lot of white boys too. Small town. That's how we grew up. Sense of community. We all had to fucking deal with each other's bullshit. That's how we live. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. We ball bust. That's the thing. Ball busting is just like it's getting swept under the rug. That's what connects people. You know, you go and work some of these shitty jobs. And I mean that with the great amount of respect that I can possibly put on it. But it's a shitty job. It is. You think pouring concrete is an easy job that everybody wants to do? No, it's hard on your fucking joints. You seen these guys? You see an old man that's been doing concrete for 30 years? Christ almighty. He's got a back on him like Quasi goddamn Moto. You want to sign up for that? No. That's why your parents always said, get an education. And he came back with that gender studies degree, and they're like, not exactly what I was thinking, but I'm glad that you have the ability to learn. And you'd be like, and your son has to look at you dead in the eyes, and he goes, listen, Dad, I'm not going to listen to a white cis male, okay? I did some experimenting in college. I did it. I'm bisexual, by the way. I don't know which tree I'm barking up right now at this moment in time, and I'm also gender fluid. And right now, you're really bringing out the feminine side of me. And I'd like to tell you that you're hurting my feelings, and I think we should talk. And your dad looks at you and like, oh, Lord, what did I do? Oh, God, why did I send him to the University of fucking Toronto? I should have sent him to the fucking old college where he'd get his ass kicked. And a little bit of hazing would have been a bullhorn up his ass. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Jesus, if you wanted to experiment that bad, I should have sent him to a fucking Lakeland College just outside of the city here. Jesus. let the farm boys. I imagine there's a few farm boys just suppressing those gay feelings, and they could have made love behind a haystack, and it would have been all over. You know, it would have just been suppressing those feelings to the eternity because they feel like, you know, that'd suck. That would suck. Could you imagine that? I imagine most guys that listen to this, you don't give a shit about gays or any of that. Nobody does. Nobody cares. I just don't understand how you can hate somebody for that. If anything, I'm happy. For every gay dude that frees up a possible sane woman for me or you, the listener. I mean, I imagine there's some gay guys that listen to this. I know there's a couple transsexuals that listen to this shit. I know that there's a few lesbians. There's one lesbian chick, and she'll message me time to time. What do you say we go to the strip club? This is prior to all this COVID shit. Wonderful gal. I don't have no problem with that community. Zero problem. Some of them are just goddamn insane, but, you know, for the most part, most of them are just like me and you. Just trying to get their rocks off. Just different flavor, that's all. I like vanilla, you like strawberry. At the end of the day, we both like ice cream. God. Yeah, the state of this world is just phenomenal. You're seeing it, though. Like, I wish we would all wake up to the... Oh, whoa, hello. I wish we'd all wake up to the fact of, like, how fucked everything really is. Instead, like I said, Canadians are pathetic. When it comes to protesting or standing up to the government or giving a shit about anything that's happening in the country to better the lives of the middle class, or even the lower, the guys on the bottom of the totem pole. Even those gentlemen and those women, or those, like, whatever your pronoun is, just insert it. You know where I'm going with this. I wish we would all just understand that the government is not out here to be your friend. And we all act like it. We need to make these fuckers terrified of us again. You know, I was sitting there thinking the other day, you know, hockey rinks right now, you can't go to the hockey rink and have a few cocktails and bang on the glass, you know? You can't do that right now. And it's upsetting a lot of men and women across this country, because hockey is a part of religion around here, up here in Canada. We do enjoy it. Whether you like the game or not, it's a great social event. And you go down, you have a few too many beers, and usually after that game, you go and shake your tatas down at the local fucking brewery and have yourself a good time. You want to go spin the heels on some hardwood, tear up some hardwood, have a good time, cut a rug, as they said back in the day. You do that. And right now we can't. We can't go down to the old local rink, enjoy a few sarsaparillas and get a little silly, bang on the glass, you know, put the tits on the glass, flash the crowd, do whatever you want, right? Have a time and a half down at the local hockey game. So here's my suggestion to you, the listener. I'm suggesting that we all just, let's pick one day. Let's have a few too many drinks. This is my suggestion. And we pretend like we're going to the hockey game again, like the world's normal. And after we've had a few too many cocktails, we go and head down to your local fucking MP's office or your local parliament. If you're in Ottawa, head down to Parliament, your local legislation, whatever province you're in. Hell, if you're in America, have at it. Take this idea and run with it. Have a few too many drinks because you can't go down to the sporting event and start banging on the glass down there. Shake up the system a little bit. Have these politicians a little terrified, huh? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying that she was fearing for her life inside of the Capitol Hill. Good. That's what I say. All these politicians should feel like that at any moment in time. That, you know what? Maybe if I make a bad decision, a few psychopaths might come in here and want to wrestle. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I think, anyways. Maybe we'd get some shit done. We'd see a little less scandal. Because you might, God forbid, God forbid, you might hear the Undertaker bell and know that you're getting choke slammed off the second tier in legislation that day. So you'd probably have the interest of the public in mind while inking any documents, suggesting any new bills. Wouldn't that be great? I don't think I'm going to sign that, because last time, one of those crazy lunatics, you remember those guys that came in here with the luchador masks? Well, yeah, one of them shoved a broken pool cue up my ass, and I haven't been able to shit right. I've been shitting splinters for the past 3 weeks. That's all I'm saying. Go down, shake it up a little bit. I'm not saying beat the hell out of them. I'm not inciting any violence. I'm not encouraging you to go do anything violent towards a politician. I'm just saying go bang on the glass a little bit. Ask any hockey player. Ask any hockey player that goes to the opposing arena. I'm sure they find it just lovely that your drunk ass is just pounding on the glass, giving them the middle finger. You know, you're fucking constantly running your lips into their bench and pissing them off. I'm just saying, put a little fear in the politicians again. Make them a little scared. They've been having it cushy for quite some time. I'm just saying, shake up the goddamn system. Get them on their heels. A little fear never hurt nobody. Christ, you're living in fear. You don't know when you're going to fucking get your next paycheck. Shouldn't they feel that? Shouldn't they feel the wrath of that for just a moment? And just to remind them, like, oh, maybe I should come back down to earth. Maybe shit isn't just all peachy keen. Everything just isn't all right. There's nothing. I don't believe that there's anything wrong with that. I think that'd be perfectly normal. Once in a while, you need to throw a rock through a fucking window. I'm not suggesting which window. I'm just saying a window. I don't know which window you should throw it through. That's up to you to decide whether you want to do that or not. I'm not suggesting. I'm just painting a picture of what it possibly could look like if the little guy had a much better say on what goes on behind those closed doors. Yeah, so have a few too many cocktails. Head down to your local MLA's office, start pounding on the glass, yelling at him to open up. Not unless he's one of those he or she, I should say. There's one of them sons of bitches that's down in Hawaii right now with the phone off. That wouldn't be good. Busted. Isn't it funny how all of a sudden now, here in Canada, they just said no international travel, no non-essential travel. Now that the politicians are all done traveling, doing on their little vacations, got their winter vacation out of the way, stress-free. That's what I mean. Shake up the system. I'm tired of the little guy. The little guy's always getting fucking bullied around. We're seeing it more and more every day. You try and trade on Wall Street. They're silencing your voice on social media. And once that happens, right now, Facebook is looking to allow the Canadian government to govern what speech is allowed on there. This is not going to go well. It's not going to go too shit hot. They've been trying this for years now, and it's not good. You think it's bad right now? This is what pisses me off with a lot of people about the whole Trump thing. You just seen social media silence the president of the United States. They now hold the power. Social media oligarchs now hold the power. And you have these idiots that were like, good, Trump shouldn't. He incited violence. I don't know. How much violence did he actually incite? Because we watched a summer, and I'm not saying you might have heard of him. I'm just saying I don't know much about it. I'm just saying that there were some people that were beating the hell out of targets, lighting them up, causing billions of dollars worth of damage. And apparently that gets you a Nobel Peace Prize. But on top of that, you got a few fucking retards that went and stormed the Capitol. I'm not saying it's right. I don't think either of those situations are great. I don't think it's smart at all. But like, to think that social media was capable of silencing the leader of the free world, silencing a politician, and you think your voice is going to matter from here on out. You're insane. If the Canadian government then is going to be censoring speech, and we don't already have free speech here in Canada, it's been proved. Mike Ward, a comedian, I believe in 2018, he tried to repeal. I don't know. I don't know lawyer terms. He brought his fucking case back up, whatever the hell that means. I will one day be able to know some smart words. And Mike Ward was charged for a joke about a handicapped kid, and he was forced. I believe he had to pay $30,000. Was it $30,000? He was initially sued for $70,000 for defamation of character over a joke. Made a joke about a handicapped kid. And I believe the total came to like $39,000, maybe $30,000. I don't know what he had to pay in total. But if you think that free speech exists in this country, you are fucking remedial. You are, my friend, indeed brain dead. And it's only about to get worse. We live in a country. Canada is just the biggest cuck country on this planet. We don't have any. We are the most civilly obedient people. When things like the SNC Lavalin scandal happened, could you imagine if that was public in France? Could you imagine that? If that was public in France, they were pissed over raising gas prices. If they found out the government was just handing a corporation millions upon millions of dollars, they would burn that country to a fucking crisp. They beat the shit out of cops over gas prices getting raised. We over here, well, fuck Trudeau, but fuck. We go on TikTok, fuck, two things I fucking hate, man. Liberals and fucking Trudeau, bud. Fuck you, fuck. That's conservative in Canada. God forbid. And then liberals would be, well, do you understand the social patriarchy is holding down women from existing and having a good life just like males? Do you understand that the cis white gender males, they're the reason that I can't be successful on this planet? Do you understand that cis males are the reason I can't lose weight and I have diabetes? Do you understand that? Because if you don't, that means you're sexist and we're going to cancel you. You're xenophobic. Everything's xenophobic now. Fucking dumb. Oh. Censorship is coming. And it's coming at a rapid speed that nobody can control. Once that happens, once Facebook allows the Canadian government to govern social media, it's over. It's over. It's done. Your voice doesn't matter. You're going to be fed information by the government because that works out well. CBC. That works out well. So you're going to have a constant narrative in your ear. And if you speak out against it here, we've already found out you get charged. You get thrown in jail. You get fucking fined thousands and thousands of dollars. Look at this. You go out in public without a fucking mask, you get arrested and thrown in a goddamn education camp. How long before we have a social credit score just like China? Huh? You jaywalk the dash 20. Shit's like a fucking video game. Did you know that in China? I got to read a little bit more into it, but I know in China, they have a social credit score that only allows you, if you're a little bit of a violent person or you've spoken out against the communist regime, they monitor your social media. They literally have an eye at you in all points of the day. They track you through all the security system or the CCTV throughout the cities. And they will not allow you to go through some pinpoints in the city. They can deny you access to certain points of the city. They can deny you access to certain hotels. It is insane. It is insane. And this is the so-called government that Justin Trudeau, I appreciate a basic dictatorship. No, that's a full-on dictatorship. The Uyghur people, that sounds fun. The Uyghurs, listen here, what up, my Uyghur? But it's a Muslim group of people that are in China that are in re-education camps. I don't know if you've watched any of this, but it's insane. It's insane. They've rounded up Muslims and put them into education camps, they call them. They lock these people up and try and get them to conform of what the Chinese government wants. Some of them are lucky enough to escape. I've watched a few things about a woman who had to leave her children behind. And to you parents out there, imagine that. You have to pack your shit. You got to drop everything that you were taught growing up. Now, whether you agree or disagree with Muslims is up to you. Honestly, hey, if you're leaving me the fuck alone, I'll leave you the fuck alone. Okay? Just don't do anything fucked up. Don't ruin my day. I won't ruin yours. Simple, simple, simple. You want to fucking pray 9 times a day? By the grace of God, do it. You want to fucking throw your hands up in the air and do those crazy bows that they're doing? Do it. I don't give a shit. I never have. I never will. But I think it's coming. I do. I don't mean to put a little, I know this podcast is meant to be like a little escape, a little laugh, a little ha-ha, but don't worry. You won't have that. In a short amount of time, it'll be taken away. I won't exist. They'll chain me to a wall and make me do TikTok dances for your entertainment. And then they'll put a hand up my ass and run me like a puppet. And I'll say things like, the Chinese government is phenomenal. I have a social credit score of 669. Who wants to see me dance to, like, Charlie D'Amelio to the new DaBaby song? This is fun, isn't it? This is entertaining, isn't it? We're such a brain dead society now. Nobody, like, it fucking irritates me so much. I know I'm on a broken record today. I'm going over and over and over again. It's to know that everybody's so blind to the fact that it is not this conservative liberal thing. And I was one of those people that thought that, oh, sorry, camera cut out again. One day, like I said, once we get out of this goddamn mess and I'm not just paying rent and all these silly things, I'm going to invest in some new gear. But yes, where was I? I can't remember what I was talking about. Something about, yeah, I don't know. Just we're in this constant perpetual wheel where we're against one another. Your fellow neighbor, just because he voted a certain way, is a son of a bitch because he thinks a certain way. When in reality, guess what? Do you see him having a better life than you? No, not really. Just because he thinks a little different doesn't mean that he's a piece of shit, a son of a bitch. Do you see him making $1 billion and manipulating laws in his favor so that way he doesn't get arrested when he's busted for manipulating the stock market in his favor? Do you see him getting arrested and going to jail because he bribed the government into getting massive contracts for their concrete company? Nope, you sure don't. So what makes him that much different than you? Yeah, sure. Some of these people, this radical left and retarded right, are completely out of their mind. But most of us are sitting right in the goddamn middle and we're looking at both sides and being like, these guys are fucking insane. I cannot handle this shit anymore. The logic that they have is so out there. It's like, you know when your uncle gets a little too drunk at the family reunion? And, you know, you were raised in let's say you were raised in a mediocre city, like, I don't know, fucking Lethbridge, Alberta. You were raised around in a small town with 8,000 people or a small city with 70,000, 100,000, however many people you want. You were around different races, religions. You know, you got an understanding of, like, how you act, you know. But when your uncle has a few too many and he starts slinging racial slurs and it just makes you feel uncomfortable, that's how I feel when I listen to other people talk. I'm just in a constant state of uncomfiness. It's always some sort of identity politics that we're screaming in one another's face and like just with no blatant facts behind it. Just like making shit up as we go. making shit up as we go. Did you know that women are 3,000 times more depressed than men during this pandemic? Why don't we just get through the fucking pandemic? Why don't we just get through this bullshit so we can get back to normal life? So I can just go back to my mediocre job and make just enough money so I can go on a vacation every 3 fucking years. Why don't we do that? Huh? Those times weren't that bad. And I was listening to the Tim Dillon show on the weekend there, and he's telling, like, a lot of these guys are, like, you got these social media fucking guys that are, well, you know, we're probably going to have a pandemic at least once every 5 years. Pardon the fuck me? These are the wealthy, the rich. This is what they're talking about. They're not talking about these identity politics that I keep bringing up. None of them are. None of them give a shit about it. Doesn't put money in their pocket. They'll manipulate it to put money in their pocket. They'll say whatever you want to hear to make sure that your dollar goes into their pocket. And nobody fucking seems to realize that. Nobody's looking at the corporations. Nobody's looking at the massive companies that have just skyrocketed through this. How is the stock market doing so good? But meanwhile, you know, people are losing their houses, their jobs, their small businesses. Everything is closing up. We are going to see some desperate people, and desperate people cause desperate times. And like I said, all you got to do is just have a few too many drinks and head down to your local legislation and just bang on the glass like it's a hockey game. Hell, get so drunk that you fucking have a goddamn hockey game just outside. Maybe, just maybe, the boys will think they're there. Start banging on the... Hey, Lucic, you were a lot worse in Edmonton. I don't know why I thought of Lucic right away. Hey, I remember we were trying to get under fucking Ryan Reeve's skin when we were in Phoenix. Not a good guy's skin to try and get under, but we were just throwing like little pokes, little jabs at him. I can't remember what I was saying. Get something to get the crowd laughing, getting them on your side. We're in Phoenix. I can't be yapping to the home team. Meanwhile, like all those idiots down there, they don't know jack shit about hockey, but that's what I mean. Few too many cocktails and disrupt some shit. Instead, you're going on Facebook and arguing with Gladys. I love going on Facebook and heading over to any of the local, or not local, all the major news companies that are posting content. And all I do is just put a simple, stupid little comment on there. Simple, dumb, makes no sense half the time. Whatever initially pops in my brain, I type in there. It has no angle, no nothing most of the time. It's just my moronic mouth saying stupid shit. And guess what? It lands every fucking time. And everybody just, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. No, you're an idiot. It causes a landslide of argument. And it just proves my point time and time again that we are pussies in this country. Nobody. And when they do stand up, what? We had one guy in his barbecue joint, Adamson's barbecue. He was the only one to stand up, and everybody's like, oh, he's an asshole. Oh, he's an asshole. Why? Because he's trying to make a fucking living? I'm kind of on the guy's side at this point, because every fucking time I turn on the news, they're making up more and more shit. Well, you should be wearing 3 masks. Now, I'm no doctor by any means, and I think that is very evident. If you've been watching this show for quite some time, you understand me. Like, yeah, if this guy was a doctor or if he's giving me medical advice, I'm probably not in a good place. You're not. If I look you in the eyes and I say, you know what, that looks like it's a contusion, you should feel ashamed of yourself. You should look yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what, I have hit rock bottom. If I'm taking advice from a guy that used to snort coke and believe that, where do I go with this? If I'm taking medical advice from anybody who's high out of their fucking skull, you should question yourself more than that person giving you medical advice, especially if you believed it. If you believe the advice, if you're just sitting there and you're like, ha, jokey, fun, ha, tee-hee, some of that shit, then maybe, you guys got a sense of humor on them. I'm glad for you. I'm happy for you. But if you're sitting around taking some advice from a guy that thought that, you know, hey, we should buy cocaine off of this trustworthy fella in that ICP shirt. I'm sure he's a stand-up fella. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he's got some of the best stuff in town. Hasn't been stepped on with speed at all. You should not trust the advice that comes out of my mouth. You shouldn't. And if you do, if you come here for a laugh, just to point and laugh at the town jester, then good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you came here. If you came here for a little giggle, you're sitting in the work truck with the fellas and you're like, yeah, I don't mind listening to this guy. It makes me feel better about myself. Then you're in the right place. But if you're coming here for any life advice, get back on your feet, I feel bad for you, son. I do. I feel awful for you. I feel awful that it's gotten so bad that you came to this place to get positivity in your life. That's rock bottom, gentlemen. That is about as deep as you're going to get. You got past rock bottom. You're in the molten lava in the Earth's core. It is low and it is dark down here. And you got a long way back to the top if you want to cock and roll, A long way to go. You are a far, far, far ways from heaven, my friend, and finding the Lord. Hell, even the good Lord himself doesn't shine a light down this tunnel. And I'm telling you that, and I'm being honest. We're here. We're in this together. We'll get you out of this mess. We will. Like every good moron does. You always notice that your idiot buddies always just come through life. They fucking diddle-daddle through life. No problem. They're idiots. They're morons. Why you trust them with any advice? Or you don't give them any advice because they never listen. They're idiots. But somehow they come out squeaky clean every time. These are the idiots that come to this podcast for positive reinforcement. They just kind of fucking dipsy-doodle through life and they found themselves in a not-so-bad situation. Never quite in the shitter. Always got a foot in it. And every now and then you pull it out, shake it off, and you go for a little stroll. Go see what's out there. See what life has to offer. But you always wind up where you were meant to be. And that's the old chomping down on a shit sandwich with your old boy, Uncle Hack. And that's why we do this podcast every week. And that's why I thank you for tuning in. And that's why I love you. And I thank you for being a guest on this podcast. It keeps growing. So I imagine that we're doing something right. Maybe it is getting funny. Maybe you are having a laugh. Pointing and laughing at the clown in the town. The old moron himself, Sobered up. Don't look sober. I certainly don't look sober. I'm not sleeping so shit hot lately. Not, the stress of this fucking virus. Every day you wake up and be like, oh my God. You got to ask yourself, am I happy? When was the last time I was happy? I wonder how many people I can convince to get drunk and go bang on the windows at Parliament today. I imagine there's a healthy bunch. I'd laugh if that turns into something. By all means, blame me too. If you get arrested for doing something like that, blame me. I don't even mind. I'll be your fall guy all day long. That's the type of guy I am. Just, you know what? Tell the officer you got schizophrenia and you listen to this we're not even far right wing. Listen to this conspiracy theory podcast where he talks about a bunch of nonsense and he thinks that he's a stand-up comedian because he got on stage 4 times. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, we should probably look into this. And you just blame me. You just blame me. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. We appreciate you. Downloads are up. Next week, I'll read some of the reviews on iTunes. I can't find any of the reviews on Spotify, so if you're listening on iTunes, please leave us a review. I'll read a few of them. Wouldn't that be lovely? And thank you for making it all the way to the end. You're a true beauty. Thank you, and good night.